Hello everybody. I'm going to play another game of chess today, but I do want to talk about the previous game I had because I thought it was very instructive, particularly about the end game, and I kind of want to talk about some things before I get into the actual new game I want to play. Okay, so we're going to go into the analysis board, and I want to talk about a certain point in the game. Right here is the first place I want to talk about. So in the actual video I had, I mentioned that I felt like there was something here, but I couldn't see it. There actually is something here. It's a tactic. I'm just going to show you what the tactic is. I wonder if they're going to let me do. Okay. Yeah, you give check. King does go here. And what you do is you give check, and then when they take, give check again. King has to move, right? Or you take with the bishop. I don't know if it's actually great, but it's a tactic, right? You end up, the computer says you're better, basically, but that's just basic tactic stuff. You know, what I want to talk about more specifically about end games, or at least what I learned from this game, is king control. So controlling where the king goes. So part of why I played this endgame so badly is I wasn't actually paying attention to boxing out the king. So my opponent's king ended up going all the way down the side of the board and then all the way back up again, making a problem. And I want to show you some of the things that I missed that exemplify like controlling the king or something like that, right? Because I want to view it. All right, so okay, right here, this is what I want to talk about. So king control, right? So all the pawns are controlling where the king can go. These are the squares that they have to move. The move I played was like rook here, thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but one of the better choices actually is right here. And why that is because the king either has to go back, right? If the king goes forward, they lose this pawn, right? So basically in a move like this, I'm saying, no, your king is not allowed to get active, right? Not allowed to come all the way down the board and be a contributing piece, right? And if you did play like a move like this, if the king does move, I win the pawn and my bases are secured, right? And I'm even better. If they do jump back this way, let's say they go like this, then I can play a move like this that boxes out the king. Now, the opponent can say, well, I'm going to attack this pawn, but if I go like this, they can have it. And where's their king going to go? Their king has to go like something like that, right? It's much longer and more difficult for them to make their king a contributing piece. And I'm basically saying, counting on this side of the board right here to be the winning part of the game, right? I'm basically sacrificing this pawn to control the king, right? In the actual game, I didn't do any of that. I ended up playing here, and then their king came down, and I went back, and my king did a walk, right? And look at this. King is suddenly active right here. I've allowed them to travel across the board, and they're now threatening my rook, and this pawn's falling, and these are useless. So I could have had the same effect with just having one pawn here as I do two, right? The next thing I want to point out when we talk about controlling the king is when we got to this point in the game right here. So you can see that their king has gone all the way back up the board, and it's a problem again, where I can't promote because the king is a contributing piece. My king isn't really doing much over here. Their king is much more valuable at this moment. This was controlling the king. They couldn't really do anything to get around So I was stuck. These pieces couldn't really move, and it created potentials for draws and stuff like that. So, I want to remember when I'm playing, get to an end game, king control can be as important as, say, for example, dropping a single pawn. Playing that sequence where you push the pawn here and they lock them in place, and then their king can't move unless they go all the way around, might be good in some cases. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. So we're going to find a game. I'm going to do another 30-minute game and see what I can get out of that. And see if anyone decides to play. I'm got my game face on. Let's see if anyone's going to play with me. Oh, we got an opponent. Jake. Both question marks. There's 1677. I'm 1958 question provisional. We're going to do e4. We're going to start with an e4. I always start with e4. I shouldn't really do that. Question is, are they going to play? Okay. Their response is e5. Now, basic, just knight development. I could do something crazy. I could do like what my opponent did last time and fianchetto my bishop. This might be instructive from the last game I played. I'm going to try and learn from my last game. I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to see whether I can get away with this push. Okay. And then we play knight here, and then this is the push I want to do. This is looking a lot like... So this is a lot like they were playing my position. So the last game I played, this is pretty much what I had. I could flick in a pawn move to make sure they don't pin me. Yeah, we're going to deviate a bit from the previous game. I'm going to... oh, see, now we're already going into new territory. Now, I have a couple options. I'm going to slow down a bit. I've been playing really fast out of this opening. From Black's position, I remember talking about this pawn move to shore up this, and it wasn't very good because it blocks the bishop. I could play knight, which is, I think, what I need to do. Yeah, so that's a move I might have to play. So the two moves I have choices are pawn or knight. I can't do my queen here because this knight jump is just not going to be great. I do want this bishop to see the world. We're going to just develop my knight, I think, and see what happens. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have flicked this pawn move in. Maybe I should have just done the knight move straight out and just been knight to f3. This might have been too slow. The last game I played, my opponent moved a lot faster in regards to getting this push in. Well, we'll do the knight because I don't think my previous opponent's push really worked. They needed the connection between the queen and the rook, and that's kind of important. So maybe my plan next is to get this knight out, and then maybe my bishop right here. I got to be careful though, because this kind of move is not great. It feels kind of like a waste move, but we'll see what they do. Okay. So, I could play my knight here. So let's just do that straight out. So this is now on the table. I think they take. So I push. They take. My knight takes. Queen takes, and then I swing my rook over maybe. They did it before I did. Interesting. Hmm. So I could take, and then they're going to push. And then my knight has to retreat. I could take with my knight, and then when they take, I take, and if they push, this bishop's got full vision. So I have a couple choices. Pawn takes, knight takes, knight takes, and then if they push here, I can take, then they would do this, and then I would lose the piece. I could just react like this, and then they take. I take, they take, I take, they take. Yeah, no, that's no good. Tough choice. Of course, I had to go for a position I'm unfamiliar with. I mean, I could take like this. Take with the pawn. They take with the knight. I take with the knight. They take with the queen. And then I can kick their queen with my bishop like this. And then this pawn. Okay, let's make sure the order is clear. So if I take with the pawn first, they're going to take with the knight. I take with the knight. They take with their queen. I develop my bishop. Yeah, we're gonna go down this route. I don't know if it's any good, but that's the route we're gonna go with. I'm hoping that they move their queen in such a way as I get a crack at this pawn. And it also allows me to develop if they take with the queen. So we're gonna do this. Okay, so now I can develop my queen here. And that's 3 pieces on this. They'll probably play bishop here. I could castle to safety right now. I think it's rather important I play my queen here because I don't want them to get away with this push. So queen here, bishop here. And then I castle, and then they castle. Maybe a queenside castle. So let's go here. And if they do play bishop here, what I do is maybe I queenside castle, and then I look at this. Because my rook would be supporting the push, right? I like my bishops. They're looking pretty strong. Looking down the whole board pretty much. They got to be careful about moving this pawn because this bishop can still see. So let's say a queenside castle and they push. Okay, we're going to queenside castle. Hold on. Let's think it through. I could do that. No, I don't want to do that right now. So we're going to queenside castle. My idea is I'm going to use this rook as a support, and it defends my bishop against this. I am going to have to make a move of my king, so if we exchange and they take with their queen, I'm going to have to move here because that's a mate if they come over here. Okay. I could go in this direction. And I could take this knight. And that makes this pawn weaker. Okay, let's say I go here. And let's say they queenside castle. Their rook ends up here. I take... They take back with, say, queen. I take here. Yeah, I think I wanna get rid of this guy. I don't want him jumping here and see what happens. I mean, it's a bit of a tougher game. I mean, this rook can swing right over. Maybe this is... No, I didn't want to trade. I mean, maybe we could have traded bishops. You know what? We're going to go back. So if they move their bishop back here, I'm going to trade. And then I'm going to play rook here. And this pawn is still under attack by 2, 3, 4 pieces. And they have 1, 2, 3 on it. And there's no quick castle to defend it. Ooh, I don't know about that move. That one felt weird. All right. They're clearly going queenside. So let's pile up on this pawn. If I do take, I can always push and support it here, so my queen doesn't get pinned. Okay, let's run through the scenario. I take with the knight. They take back. I take with my bishop. They take back. I take with queen. I mean, it feels like a free pawn. If they play this, then I can defend. If they challenge, then I would just push. Yeah, I think that's a pawn that we win. And then I'm going to defend if I can. This pawn is now under threat. So if they don't go here immediately, I can take with a piece. So I am now up a pawn, I think. Could be a poison pawn, but I'm not sure. What are they going to do? Yeah, see, that's what I thought. So if I play this and then they challenge, so it should be okay. The only problem is if this bishop moves, say for example this bishop moves and they play this pawn, that's an issue. So this knight should be fairly stable. I could also play this. So let's make sure nothing happens. I'll take. Okay. They got the pawn back. I could duck out of the way, and then they would play this. I could duck over here. Yeah, I kind of like this move. I'm going to duck. Let's just make sure. If I move my queen here, and they take, and I take, it's still okay. So we're gonna move the queen out of danger. And that way, if I take back, it's still okay. And now we're threatening this pawn here. So if I take like this, their queen is under attack. If they bring their bishop here, That's not going to be good, I don't think. All right, still looking okay. I'm out of danger. We've equalized a little bit. That's just straight out losing because this knight can just take this. Let's just take it. It seems free. That was a big blunder by my opponent. And then they trade bishops and I take back. Still up a piece. Yeah, that was pretty much a losing move right there. I think they missed that the knight could move because the queen had come out of the pin. I don't know if they're going to play on or not. They are going to play on. That's interesting. Let's keep moving forward and try to you know, trade everything off. This pawn's going to be a danger. This pawn is still under threat. Okay, check, win the pawn. I think I need to do that because this is a very dangerous pawn. So there's a reason why I'm doing this. This also allows me to take because I'm defending my rook. This both acts as a defense and is a pin. They could push, but then they drop the queen. We're going to do a queen exchange. I'm going to take. Now, best way to do this. Cleanest way to win this game. I could just give a check. Yeah, we're just going to do it this way. And then I'm going to secure everything in so they don't have to, so there's nothing they can really look after here. Well, that can wait. We'll get active. That can wait. They push here. I come down. Okay, let's just do this. I think we're getting pretty close to mate. So if I play this and then I play this, it's a mate. So let's see if they'll let me get this in. Well, let's just take stuff. My opponent is offering me a draw. Yeah, sorry, that ain't going to happen. Walk my king up, as we talked about king control. Maybe walk my king up here and then begin to march pawns. Maybe they're just going to wait the clock out. I hope not. Hear me out. I got to tell you one joke. If you laugh, we draw. Nope. I am just going to close the window. Well, I could just say, well, I don't know. No, we're not going to bother with that. We're going to play it out. King control. Remember, king control. We want to control their king. Take the squares away. Play here, maybe? I could have just won the rook, but, you know. Yeah, I'll just play the mate. There we go. I think with chats in these, people always want to do crazy things and stuff like that. So let's take a quick pick at the analysis board here and see what they have to say. Well, clearly I know where my opponent went wrong. They dropped that piece. I'm not sure. No blunders so far. Yeah, they're all at the beginning opening blunders. Let's just take a quick peek at the beginning and just see what the computer has to say where I went wrong. I'm not very good with my openings. Yeah, didn't like this Fianchetto idea. Just wanted the knight idea. Yeah, I said don't bother with this. Just develop your knight. Okay, here's where I was curious. Taking. They just say pin this knight. Yeah, I was wondering about this move. In reply to this move, what I was going to do is I was going to play this, but then I noticed that there's this take right here. I might have blundered. He didn't do that though. Queenside castle. It doesn't want queens. It just says immediately play this. But like, oh, they can't take. There's a pin. So it's just saying skip the queenside castle and be quick. That's good to know. Okay, that's the continuation there. Okay, so my queenside castled. It didn't like this. It just wants to trade. Yeah, I thought, you know, if they came back, what I was going to do is just take, or say they just take with the queen. Then you just follow up with something like this. Right, and they can't stop you. Anyway. Ooh, that was a blunder, eh? Coming back. Yeah, they still want this because of this pin. I missed the fact that the king was pinned here, that they couldn't take. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. Okay, so how do they want me to defend? Queen. I don't know if I like a queen move. I don't know if I like this. Because, you know, I don't know. Something about it I don't like. But I guess I wouldn't have dropped a pawn if I'd done that. Yeah, see, here's the major blunder. And that's where things go wrong for my opponent. They're just saying push right through, huh? Interesting. Okay, well, that was a good game. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.